This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 247.
I program my home computer.
We have a server crash. 404 error. Page not found. Links aren't working. System is crashing. System is crashing. System is crashing.
Your old HTML website. Barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website. Better than it was before. Better. Stronger.
Faster. We have the technology. The technology.
Why, hello everybody, this is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events, as always, we have six WordCamps next weekend. None in the U.S., because here in the U.S., it is Thanksgiving weekend. So Thursday is Thanksgiving, Friday is Black Friday, we'll talk about that in a minute. Then the weekend, football, all that stuff going on. So no WordCamps in the U.S. for Thanksgiving weekend, but we have WordCamps at WordCamp Harare, November 23rd, 24th, WordCamp Kampala, 23rd, 4th, and 5th, WordCamp Nairobi, 23rd and 24th, WordCamp Pokhara, November 24th, WordCamp Sofia, Bulgaria, November 24th and 25th, and WordCamp MonteVideo, November 24th. So if you are in those areas, or if you're traveling those areas for Thanksgiving, if you're in the States, or you're just getting out of the country for whatever reason, check them out and let me know how they were. Okay, moving on here. Segment 1 in the news. Only one thing to mention right now in the news besides, other stuff. This year's recipient for the Kim Parsell Award was Nidhi Jain, I believe, from Udaipur, India. She is a volunteer organizer for WordCamp Udaipur, a WordPress developer, a contributor, and a seasoned traveler. Kim Parsell was the WP mom, if those who may not know. When she passed away, there was a scholarship set up so people could apply, those in need, to get to WordCamp US, and that's this year's award recipient for the scholarship. So congratulations to Nidhi. Okay, moving on to the rest of the next segment. Segment 2, the meat and potatoes of this week's episode. This week, I am doing my annual Thanksgiving episode. Thankful for WordPress in so many different ways. So this year, I'm doing 9 things. Why 9? Well, it's my favorite number. It's my birthday, the 9th. So this is a mix of WordPress and life this year. So a little bit more on the WordPress side just because of this podcast. But these are the things I'm thankful for. Number 1, thinking back, I really wanted to call out the original 4. And what I mean by the original 4 is the original people from my mastermind about, 4.5, 5 years ago that held me accountable. Kyla, Jeremy, Shay, and Sam. Without those 4, this podcast would not be here right now. It is that simple. Our names were all clumped together in a tweet after a conference back in Vegas. It was New Media Expo, the NMX Expo, way back. There were 10 of us in this There was 10 of us in this tweet, and someone else said that'd be a great mastermind, and I reached out to the other 9 and said I'm in. Who else is in? And out of the 10, the 5 of us got together because the other 5 were already in other masterminds and were pre-committed to other things. So the 5 of us got together, and we did it for about 3.5 months. And in that 3.5 months, 4 years later, episode 247 later, I'm still here, and everyone's doing great. Jeremy moved down to Texas. He has a day job, a full-time job. He's also pursuing some other pursuits. Sam is a 3D rendering modeling kind of guy out in Vegas. Shay is a programmer and has a couple podcasts on the side as well. And Kyla also is a performer with a podcast. She has the Unpodcast. No, she has, I forgot what it is. It's like, she got the name before Scott Stratton got the name. So she has a show as well. But anyway, I want to thank them because they're, I give them credit for, keeping me accountable 4 years ago. Okay. Number 2, I'm thankful for my WordPress family, really. In no specific order, I have a couple more names here. Dustin, Kyle, Jen, Greg, Stephen, and Elisa. Without the 6 of you to commiserate with, to laugh, talk, share, and learn from, this past year would not nearly have been as interesting, tolerable, manageable, etc. I often question what I do, as you know, 1, 2, 3, I guess the 6 of you know this. And you kind of keep me on track and grounded to some extent. And so thank you for those 6 people. Okay, number 3, I want to actually call out a plugin / service, and it's a newer thing, Blog Vault. I want to say I'm thankful for Blog Vault this year. They were a sponsor on the other podcast, Get Options podcast. I'm using them And it's just really cool. It's saved my butt so many times already. They just have a rock solid system to back up some of the sites that I manage that have been problematic in the past with other services. So I'm thankful for Blog Vault. Okay, number 4. Here's a kicker. Gutenberg. Say what? Yeah, Gutenberg. I'm thankful for Gutenberg. Why? Well, without its eventual release in WordPress 5.0, which is due like a week after this episode comes out, I may not have any more work ahead of me in 2019. I mean, there are now features to extinguish. There is work to be done. There is new designs to learn. So it keeps the truck keeps on rolling, right? Things are always going to change. Change is that constant, and Gutenberg is a change. And as much as there's drama behind it, so be it. I'm welcoming it, and when it gets here, I will dive in and deal with it. So thanks to Gutenberg. Okay. Number 5, family. Specifically my wife. She isn't quite sure what I do, and it's kind of silly to say that, but for some reason she supports my drive, my ambition to build something. And that said, it's not easy, as we do have a college-bound adult in the house, and it does make me wonder and contemplate my things and my future and income and an outcome of what I'm doing and financial expenditures, etc. So I just want to thank her for being awesome and supporting me, and we support each other. So actually, I just asked her, she won't ever hear this, but I asked her yesterday before she left for a trip. I said, what are you thankful for this year? She said, I'm thankful that we're getting along. So I'm like, so am I. I'm like, that's good. So we get along. It's good. Number 6, I'm thankful for my daughter getting into colleges. 2 as of this recording. She's really excited, and she's also really, really nervous. And it's interesting to see how this is going to play out for her. She's 18 now, and she's grown up. It's crazy. So I'm thankful that she's gotten into colleges. It's taken that pressure off of her a little bit to where she can now just, figure the next step out, right? So we'll figure it out together as a family. So number 7, I want to thank everyone who contributes to the WordPress project itself in any capacity, from running meetups to WordCamps, plugin and theme developers. As you all know, it's all about the community. I'm still a firm believer in that. And I think it's, again, there's a shift and there's a change, but it's still what the core is to me. It's still important, and it's about community. So number 8, I want to thank the Patreons and the sponsors of this podcast. Actually, it helps. Every little bit helps. I don't consider things extra money per se. I just really want to, there's expenses to running the show, and, it does help. And I appreciate the Patreons and sponsors. If you want to do that, you can. Of course, I'll mention that at the end of the show. Okay. And number 9, final one is I want to thank you, the listener of the show. So every now and then, I wonder who's out there. Who am I speaking to? And I get an email and thanking me for the show or sharing their struggle as well, and it keeps me going. So thank you, because sometimes, talking into a microphone, as much as I like to hear my own voice sometimes, gets a little questionable. It's like, do I keep doing this? Why am I keep doing this? My sons have asked me, how much longer am I going to do this for? They've asked me if I pre-record shows ahead, and I say no, I like to keep things timely. But you, the listener of the show, based on the emails I get and the feedback I get, really do keep me going. So thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. And if you want to share the show with a friend or a family member who you think might benefit from it, awesome. So that'd be great. Okay. That's it. Just those 9. That's it. That's just those 9. Those went by pretty fast. So what are you thankful for? Let me know. If you want to say what you're thankful for on WordPress, by all means, leave a comment in the speak pipe, and I'll play it on, if it comes in early enough for the next week's show, or maybe during the holidays, during Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and the New Year. So maybe we'll talk about that again. Okay, moving on. Segment 3, tip and tool this week. Okay, so because this week, the episode this week comes out, it's Black Friday and then Cyber Monday, I've gone ahead and created, once again, the Holiday Deals 2018 page. So you can find that. It'll be a link of all the deals that I can find, put together. And these are the deals that I think are worth going for. That's services and tools that I use. Let's keep that in mind. It's not just everything out there. So it'll be over at kitchensinkwp.com/holiday deals 2018. That's the pretty link for it. Check it out. And then they do expire. Some last a little longer. They do expire. They need codes. Some don't need codes. And yes, some might be affiliates that I might get a referral fee for. So FYI. Okay. That is it this week. I want to wrap it up. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@kitchensinkwp.com, or like I said earlier, use the speak pipe functionality of the website. If you want to support the show, you can. You can become a Patreon, kitchensinkwp.com/Patreon. That's Patreon. If you want to sponsor the show, you can do that too. There's a form on the website. So thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week. Now go do some awesome things with WordPress. All right, bye-bye.